I was like, okay,
Oh,
that's
that's great. It
Wow.
does. I see it. I see it.
You got Finn, Sammy, Steve, Hallett, Jason Sarney, Matt Armstrong, Sherry Hallett. What's going on, y'all?
Thank
Hey,
you,
so nice
Josina.
to see you.
We're glad to have you.
Yeah, you're
We,
welcome. You're welcome. And listen, I'm so lazy when it comes to social stuff like this. I don't even do my own show, but because y'all made me get into my own studio, I was like, well, shoot. Now everybody's gonna see this. Now people, not feel bad. Oh, this person. Oh, I'm like, okay. So here I am. This is why I got on my sunglasses because I don't feel like doing my face.
And
So
I love
no,
your shirt, by the way. It's
thank
yeah,
you.
fantastic.
I'm doing an Ocho Cinco and a To with the sunglasses. It's not because I
Beautiful.
think I'm a
Josina,
star. It's because I'm
it,
lazy. So that's it.
Josina,
Perfect.
if I can have a moment,
Yeah.
I'm going to be a fan for 30 seconds.
Okay.
I love reading what you put out in the world.
Thank
I
you. Not
absolutely,
everybody does, but it's okay. I got thick skin.
yeah, I don't care about everybody,
Yeah.
but one reason why I love it
Mm.
is because it makes me think. There are
Oh,
times when I sit there and go, what is she talking about? And I mean
yeah.
that in the most respectful way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's okay.
So I had no idea that you were going to join.
Oh,
Um, I didn't know that you were affiliated with Finn's TV in any way. This is a
I'm a
huge
big
honor for
fan of
me. I just wanted to tell you it's
Aw.
great to meet you.
Well, Sammy is a longtime follower of me on X. He's very respectful. He's been asking me for a long time. I actually, quite honestly, plan to come on the show a lot earlier. This has been I just every minute I'm going through something off. That ain't got
no,
nothing to do with nothing, and I'm dealing with this, dealing with that. And so I got a lot of life stuff going on, and so I've been telling him, I'm like, look, I'm coming, but you see me dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. I barely want to, get on my own thing because it's a lot. I do my own, anything that y'all see me put on video wise, tweet wise, graphic wise, I do all of that myself. It's a complete unicycle
Amazing.
operation. So
that's
it's
awesome.
tiring. And I actually just landed a sponsor today, and then I gotta get on and put my business hat. But I know y'all want to talk about the Miami Dolphins.
No,
Congratulations.
and on a
So
very busy day, so we really appreciate you. You had a very interesting post today about the Dolphins. Have an affinity for Harbaugh. I want to know your thoughts. I don't know how much you can tell me about that, but I would be interested to know what you think about that.
Well, obviously, that's just according to league sources. I've been covering the NFL since 2002. I got sources everywhere. They might
Yeah,
be wrapping tape on your player. They might be sweeping. They might be taking your coffee into your office. I've been doing this so long. You never know. I just get to people, and so this is what I heard, and I heard it from a trusted person that tells me a lot of deep things. I got what I call Delta sources that are connected to just a lot of different people, and sometimes I don't have to talk to a direct person to sometimes just even know what that direct,
of
what is
course.
being directly said, and sometimes it's just direct. So, but my understanding is, I mean, obviously, you guys have got multiple people that you're looking at for GM. Still waiting for Champ Kelly's name to get on that list, but that we're expecting them to show them that respect. Um,
Yeah.
but I would say in regards to what I tweeted that my understanding is that the owner is got a deep affinity for the Harbaugh brothers, so obviously that includes John as well, and nobody that is around this league in terms of coaches, personnel, they're not born at night. They all people know that things conversations happen, and the things get anticipated, and even though some of this caught John Harbaugh off guard, it's the job of people to always have conversations going, and so but I also hear that's Ross got a he likes Mike McDaniel too, even despite the ups and downs. He does like him, and so we have to see. Now that push is come to shove, and Harbaugh is actually available. You got to figure out what time it is and what you're going to do because Harbaugh's not going to be available. Long if he decides to. Even though he has this interest, he still has to. Once he actually sits back in his chair, he said, "I'll make sure he's not going to take any time off,
That's what I was going to ask you,
on
if
paper
you'd heard.
or what have you." So, but the interest is definitely there.
Sherry, I
That's
want to
right.
give you an opportunity here. Actually, real quick. First of all, Josina, I want to say Jason Sarney absolutely loves to talk, and nobody can ever stop him. He became speechless the second he saw you pop up online here. So
That's what
that
sorry.
means a lot. But I want to give an opportunity here with Sherry to get to talk. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Sherry.
You actually just addressed my question, which was, had you heard anything about him taking that year, just the year to wait, to rest, to see? Is there any chatter about that?
I haven't heard it specifically because I just think a lot of this is new, and just from the standpoint that it actually happened. I mean, I was trying to allude to multiple different things, as all people always say I allude too much, but I don't do that because I'm trying to be a tease. Like there's no one piece of news that's making me or breaking me. I do that because I'm respecting my sources, and then trust me, I'm always asking, what can I say? How can I frame it? Is this cool? Whatever. So that's what it was. But I think it's still he newly absorbed. He still got to go home and have, how the kids say, it's 3 sleeps before prom. You got to have one. He got to have one sleep, to actually like, man, absorb this in. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm anticipating it, but I would put it in the bucket just as a possibility, just from the standpoint that it's just new, not because somebody said that to me. One thing that I could say that I haven't put on Twitter that I could say on your show, is that um, there are league sources who believe, and I'll use it this way. Sometimes I downshift what I say so that you can't take it out of the bucket of
Oh, come on.
whatever.
Don't hit the gas and then all of a sudden slam on the brakes here.
No.
Come on.
But my understanding is that there's been at least a consideration of, if Mike McDaniel wasn't the head coach of y'all's team and something changed. My understanding is that there's some league. I'll put it this way. This is the best way to couch it, to leave it that way. Is that some league sources believe that he might consider taking some time off if he doesn't end up as a head coach.
Oh,
that's
interesting.
So that's the best way for me to just say that. So it puts it in league sources believe.
I can see that.
And I like how you operate, because you keep your sources that way. It's perfect.
That's the right way to do it.
Of course. No.
that.
And you've got my dream job, because I have a sports broadcasting degree, and I wanted to do and actually it was pre-social media, but I'm so envious, and you are amazing.
Girl, ain't nothing to be envious about, because let me tell you, this job is not for the weary. So, my first job in Oregon, I think I made, I don't know, 20,000 in a year. It was something bad, and it was out of a barn in Oregon that was converted into a station, and the prompter was operated by a bicycle pedal thing that you had to put the thing on, and you
What
could
a great story.
and that's true. And you can be in, you can be out, and it's politics, and people can tell I don't got time for politics. So listen, I'll just go ahead and do it myself. So
I respect that fully. Steve, I interrupted you, please.
No, you're good. You're fine. So Josina, clearly the game has changed. The playing surface has changed for everybody right now, because you go from the Dolphins being in a position of saying, hey, we're going to get our GM. It's really kind of quiet behind the scenes of Mike McDaniel's around. He's going to stay, but the GM that they hire might end up changing all of that depending on who they end up hiring there. And now all of a sudden everything changes with Harbaugh hitting the market. And now everybody's like, look, we're fanatics. We're content creators. Sammy is the content creator. We're just here riding along with him on his show, which is fantastic. We're optimistic of saying, oh my God, we've got to go out there and get him. But we've got other teams, I think, in play here that could be a little bit more attractive. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on, let's say that 2 teams in the playoffs end up losing this week right now that have been, tumultuous a little bit. What's the chances of, say, Buffalo and a Green Bay job open up, and all of a sudden those are opportunities for John Harbaugh to step into, where they are plug and play a lot more than Miami is right now?
I mean, I think the next thing I'm just looking at actually is the Steelers game against the Texans. Just because I think that, obviously the Texans defense has been playing phenomenally. I think Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter and Aziz Al-Shaair are going to come in there looking
Amazing.
to put, foot to behind. And, but what will be a weak point for the Texans is that, they don't have the same experience in the postseason as Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin. But if for some reason the Texans are able to get over that point, that then puts the Steelers' season at kaput. And then, some of the things that I have been tweeting about, we all will be waiting to see if, Mike Tomlin is, he'll have a lot of things to think about that league sources have said have been in his consideration sphere since the beginning of the season. And that's not just from, whether you want, not because I think Rooney would push him out, whether it's
No.
his decision to, potentially just seek a new challenge, new environment, a fresh opportunity, go on to, TV dollars, or whatever it is. Those things will definitely be put in his face and he'll have to consider them. And so we'll see if he does. And then there's another seismic shift.
Now, you're not saying that a Pittsburgh opening would be an opportunity for Harbaugh, are you?
That would be weird, right? I haven't even had a chance I haven't even had a chance to think about that. No, I mean, who knows? But I guess what I'm saying is that it would present an opportunity for an additional chair to potentially be open. And so because there's another vacancy added to the mix and another top tier coach potentially added to the mix if he so chose, then that would just make this merry-go-round even that much more complex and interesting relative to the candidates that are available and who would end up where.
I already said the 2025 NFL season was drunk. This has just gotten even more crazy.
And honestly, there's really other stuff that's out there that, oh my God,
we don't even know.
I just don't even know that I'm definitely not getting on. I won't even touch that.
Josina,
but for some reason it does, whatever, then y'all can turn back to
wait.
Any news? Anything we need to know?
I got a ding.
Y'all can turn back to this part and then hold on one second because I can't see my text because I'm on this thing.
I'll take your time. We might have breaking news over here.
I do have one person waiting for me that is, I think, relevant to this conversation. But I told them I'll call them back in about half an hour because I put them on hold for y'all.
I appreciate you.
So they definitely are waiting. But what I would say is that it would just add another chair to the mix. Potentially could be. But I just want to again make sure that I'm very clear on what I said before relative to what I was talking about. Is that is league sources believe. Yeah. League sources believed it at that time. Maybe it has changed. I, think it's within the realm of, consideration because why wouldn't it? It's just human nature to evaluate your circumstances. But nonetheless, is it true that people that I trust brought that to my attention? Yes, that is true. Yes.
It's an informed opinion in the realm of time. I want to give Jason an opportunity to talk to you, and then I want to ask you something. Jason, go ahead.
Thank you, Sammy, and thank you, Josina. This is an awesome honor to ask you the question. But if there is a coaching change, what would be the attraction to this job, this Miami Dolphins job? A lot of people say that, the quarterback situation, the cap situation. I happen to think it's a good opportunity for a coach to come on in and make his mark and really turn this franchise around. But as an insider, what are your thoughts on the attractiveness of this job?
So, I would say, for example, like if I'm a Harbs or somebody else or a Harbs, I would say that the GM position is open. I think that's a big, if you're a coach of his, caliber and you potentially, can look at a situation where the GM job is open, that's major attractive. You're also, the New York is New York. I'm a New Yorker. I love New York. I'm an East Coaster. So, but New York is a lot of pressure. And not saying that he hasn't had a lot of pressure in Baltimore, but it ain't New York. and it's not Philly. I still think those are the top two markets in terms of media pressure, and I still even put Philly above New York because well, listen, any market I am in, you don't get questioned, but they got a bunch of people who are not fearful of asking questions, and so it's just a different thing. Every coach comes here thinking they're going to be ready for it, and then they come and they get into the gauntlet, and then it's like, whoa, I mean, Aaron Glenn just said that today. Like, whoa, so they all go through it. So I think that that's a plus. And I think you guys have pieces, down there to work with as well. He would have his own independent evaluation of the, quarterback situation. And I do think a consideration for, Miami and just think this thing moving forward and where do y'all pick right now? Where y'all slotted?
11.
11th. I mean, you still
We
obviously.
know that, don't we?
Right. I mean, you still got the Tua situation on your hands. I mean, my understanding is, there's improvement that can be made in that relationship. As far as I understand, it's not like it's uncommon. But for that would be a consideration for Ross. And Tua, people who are there get a fresh start. But I like Mike McDaniel. He's always, it's not just about how he treats me, but I do like him, and I think that he is an offensive, genius. I know teams would be all over him with respect to he would have some opportunities as an offensive coordinator. I don't know if it would be, as a head coach, but I know specifically if teams have expressed that to me, and so we'll see with respect to that if that makes sense. Did I answer your question?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Steve, one more question to Josina before we let her go. She brings more than us about her time, so really appreciate it. Jason, that was a great question. So, Steve, one last question before we let Josina go.
You know what? You were just running through so much stuff there, and I totally lost what I was going to say. So I'll throw like a really, really soft one to you here because you've been awesome with us. So personally, you're in East Coast, New York. How did your first gig end up being in Oregon? I was born in Portland. I love Oregon. How'd you end up out there?
Well, when I was going to University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, I'm a big Tar Heel.
Oh man, Jesus!
Oh, there you go.
There's a connection.
I'm a Tar Heel. I used to run track for the Carolina. That was a long time ago. I'm a little bit. I'm just a tad older now. So it was my goal to make sure that when I graduated that I had a job. I was terrified of graduating and not having a job. And so I really worked my ass off while I was in school ages ago, over 2 decades ago, to make sure that I was doing internships. I think I did an internship at ESPN. I did another one at the ABC affiliate in Raleigh, WTVD. I was sending out a whole bunch of tapes, and I think I had gotten offers in Flagstaff, Arizona, and the other one was in Coos Bay, Oregon. And so I didn't really know what Coos Bay was like. It just sounded cooler. I thought I was going to be maybe on a beach or something. Listen, I'm an East. I didn't know nothing about no Coos Bay. And then, when I got there, I was like, oh, this is, I don't really see South Beach here. It was in Lumbertown. But man, it was definitely a hard transition. It was a long way from home, but they were the ones who gave me my first opportunity. I ended up being there for a year, a month, and a day. Exactly.
Nice.
And the rest is history. But listen, I just wanted to say to y'all that, it's actually content creators like yourself that inspire me because I came up so traditionally, and it is. I tell this to Pat Leonard all the time, who works for the New York Daily News, because he is consistent with his live stream or whatever. For me, it is definitely harder for me to, be as consistent even with my own stuff. So the fact that you guys got this whole big setup, you got the graphics, you had the intro rolling, you guys inspire me to, to even do my own thing. And I appreciate you guys having me on. I think that the Miami Dolphins situation is one to keep an eye on. And I also would say to your listeners is that regardless if Stephen Ross or anybody else in the building comes out and says, Mike McDaniel is safe, or they, finally officialize it, it doesn't change that, it is true, at least according to my sources, that ownership does have an affinity for the Harbaugh brothers, which would include John Harbaugh, and so it's just up to Steve Ross as to what he wants to do. But the reporting is just about things that get said public. Sometimes they're not things that are not comfortable being acknowledged publicly. Doesn't mean it's not true. So I just want to make sure people understand that. Mm-hmm.
Josina, thank you.
Thank you so much.
When you get to the person, whoever you've been putting off for us, let them know we appreciate it. Everybody that's been watching appreciates it.
Yes,
this
and
has been incredible.
Yes, and I think that Stephen Ross's affinity to still potentially work with McDaniel was also evident in the fact that when you look at the names that were on the GM list, 3 of them were from San Francisco, and so I think that that they're definitely would look to try to find something a little bit more synergistic. But yes, the landscape does evolve, the cycle is ongoing, so we'll have to see if he capitulates.
Josina, it's been great. We talked about you joining Fins TV, so it's been great. Hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully you consider joining us next year. So we appreciate you. Okay?
Yes, no problem. You guys have a good show, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
We have each other. The city's alive. Palm trees swaying. The heartbeat survives. It's the show we all crave. Miami Dolphins ride the wave.
Thanks for watching Fins TV. Please like and subscribe.
Turn it up loud. Feel the bass in your soul. Miami Dolphins, yeah. We're reaching the goal.